Welcome to Amada America's Carolina Technical Center. My name is Stephen Keating. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Amada America. Today we're very excited to be sharing with you our HRB series press brakes, which is being manufactured here at a High Point, North Carolina facility. Amada has been investing in manufacturing since 1981, and we've never been more committed than we are here today. The Carolina Technical Center sits on a 43-acre campus and shares that with a High Point press brake and automation manufacturing facility. This is just part of our commitment to our customer base in North America. Plus, I'm happy to announce Amada has established the first ever Amada Bending Academy located in Carolina Technical Center. This is something that has been long overdue for the industry, and it's something I'm very excited both for our customer base and for Amada as well. The Carolina Technical Center is the only Amada campus that has manufacturing, service, training, and technical center all in one location. Amada is committed, Amada is invested, and Amada is here to support your manufacturing needs here in North America. Please enjoy today's bending seminar, and at this point in time, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Scott Ottens, our bending manager for Amada America. Scott?
Hi, I'm Scott Ottens with Amada America, and I'm excited to welcome you here to our Carolina Technical Center, where we're going to be showcasing our new HRB press brake, which we're building right next door at our High Point manufacturing facility. So the HRB we're building down here comes in three sizes, 80 metric ton 2.5 meter, 100 metric ton 3 meter, and a 220 metric ton 4 meter. We're also building a new style automatic tool changer press brake built around two of those HRB models, the 100 metric ton 3 meter and the 220 ton 4 meter as well. So we're building that down here, and we're excited to share that technology with you, which we're going to kind of go through the features of the machine today. So we'll start with AM-NC3i control that this machine is equipped with. This is the same top line control that's on our EG series of electric press brakes and our high-end HE series of servo hybrid drive press brake as well. So some nice features on the AM-NC3i control, one being the light mode. So typically this control is very feature packed, but when you go in to train, let's say, a new operator, it might take him weeks to become comfortable with that control. Well, we can put the AM-NC3i into what we call a light mode. It gives a more simplistic version of the control for the operator to learn on. So he can get up to speed and be bending parts very quickly. So after a few weeks of practice with the AM-NC3i control, we can turn on all the features, and he can take advantage of all these sophisticated features on the AM-NC3i control and move forward at a much quicker pace than normal. So there's, any manner of programming on the control. There's depth mode, there's a 2D mode, there's a regular angle mode, and as you can see here, there's a 3D graphic mode, and this is integrated fully with our AM-NC3i Bend software, where you can program offline. Operator can just pull the programs up here. You'll see, a green light time that's triple what you might see without offline programming. So that's our AM-NC3i control, and we'll kind of move on from here and look at some other features on the machine. So with the HRB, we've chosen to go with a hybrid drive system. Basically, what you have is a servo motor, a pump, and a hydraulic tank for each cylinder. So this type of system is very energy efficient in that, as the machine sits here right now, there is no pump turning, moving hydraulic fluid through the system. So until the operator steps on the pedal, the servo kicks in, drives the ram down, and then at bottom dead center, basically the whole system reverses and the ram goes back up. So this is a very highly efficient system. A second benefit is it's a very stable bending platform. We don't use a lot of hydraulic fluid, so it's not subjected to viscosity changes in hydraulic fluid throughout the day. So your bending repeatability is highly accurate to begin with and very stable throughout the day. It's also extremely energy efficient. Most of our customers will see a reduction in energy consumption of around 85%. So that brings us to crowning. So the HRB, we've chosen a natural crowning system standard. So we've got 2 slots built into the lower beam, and what the end result is basically whatever deflection you have when you bend a long part, the lower beam is going to match that deflection. The end result is a very consistent bend along the length of the part. So we can retrofit an adjustable crowning system into those slots, which is basically a servo and cam system, and it just adds a little bit more longitudinal accuracy over the natural crown. The savings here basically is if you have no crowning system in a brake, operators can spend quite a bit of setup time shimming the center of the tool in order to get a consistent bend down the length of the part. So with the natural crowning system, or as I said before, the adjustable crowning system, we're going to save quite a bit of setup time through the day. The setup could be 3, even up to 5 minutes of shimming in order to get a good part. So over an 8-hour shift, that adds up to quite a bit of time there as well. So Billy Milliken, our lead application engineer, is going to demonstrate the crowning performance of the HRB. Take it away, Billy. So now Billy's going to use Amada's DigiPro, our digital protractor, to measure this part left, center, and right. It's integrated with the AMNC3i control, and he could send those measurements right to the control if any further correction was needed. So now we'd like to talk about the tooling system we're using in this machine, our Amada fixed height tooling, and I'd like to introduce Ashley Mathis. She's our bending product specialist for the Carolina area who works out of this facility. Ashley?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to point out and discuss a little bit about the tooling that we have on our HRB standalone press brake. The punch holders on the HRB standalone press brake is what we refer to as our Escript punch holders. The Escript punch holders have the ability to use tapered or non-tapered Amada European style punches. The advantage to these Escript punch holders is this sectionalized technology that you see here, to where we have gaps in between the punch holders. The advantage to that is we can slide the punch holders together to create no gap, or slide them apart to create more gap per part geometry. On this particular Escript that you see here, we have a standard stackable punch holder that's mounted into the Escript punch holder. On the stackable punch holder, we have Amada's AFH punches. The AFH punch is acronym for Amada Fixed Height, meaning all punches, whether it be gooseneck, standard punches, acute punches with the same tip radius, are all 120 millimeters tall, meaning that we can load multiple types of tools on the same setup. On the dies that we're using is Amada's AFH dies. All of the dies, depending no matter what the die V is, up to 40 millimeters, have a fixed height of 60 millimeters. On this particular application that you see here, Billy is going to be forming a deep box part with these Escripts and this AFH tooling. The AFH tooling that we're using is made in Amada's recently expanded tooling manufacturing center located in Batavia, New York. I'll now ask Billy to come over and we'll demonstrate a part for you. So here, ladies and gentlemen, on the part that Billy's forming, the box-shaped part that I mentioned just a little while ago, Billy's using the stackable punch holder that's mounted in the Escript punch holder, as we discussed, using the AFH punch. The box that Billy is forming is an 8.5-inch deep box. And as you can see here, there's a substantial amount of room for the part to go in between the punch holders, as you can see here on bin number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, what we would like to demonstrate for you now is our bending indicator, which we refer to as the BIS. The BIS is an angle measuring device that will bend and compensate for the data on the fly. A huge advantage to the bending indicator is for less experienced operators. And at this time, I want to ask Billy to come in and we're going to demonstrate this for you. So here on the BIS, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, as Billy's forming the part, we have these point of contact probes that retract out of the two boxes at the front and the rear of the machine, and it measures the angle of the part as the part is being formed. Once it completes that measurement, it'll automatically send that data of the measurement to the controller. Of course, the advantage to the BIS is to decrease setup time, which can be up to around 2 minutes per setup to around 20 minutes per shift. And here is the automatic foot pedal. The automatic foot pedal is a foot pedal that, of course, is automatically driven the length of the press brake. So as you can see on this particular program, we have a 6-bend part with 4 stages of tooling. The automatic foot pedal will then go from stage to stage, and of course the operator will walk to the position that it's in to form the part. The advantage to this is, of course, on the additional, what we call the pedestal or remote foot pedals, of having to tote it from stage to stage. The savings in this automatic foot pedal is what we've estimated is around 12 seconds per part, and it can be on this particular application, which could then result up to around 70 minutes per shift. Thank you.
So the HRB comes equipped standard with a high-speed 6-axis back gauge. We can, the fingers move side to side, up and down for various tooling heights. We can actually taper the back gauge. As an additional feature, we offer what we call our L-shift option, where we can offset the finger spacing. So this is great if you've got, complex geometry on parts. And I think what we'll do now is we'll have our apps engineer here at the CTC, Billy Milliken. He's going to come in and demonstrate this L-shift feature for us. With the L-shift function, you can see here we can offset the 2 fingers independently, and he can come down, he can gauge this part very easily in a very stable manner.
And ladies and gentlemen, now what we'd like to do is Billy's going to demonstrate the sheet followers on the HRB 1003 ATC machine. Now Billy's going to form this part on the sheet followers, which is the SS1224, which has a capacity of 50 kilograms per arm. These sheet followers have the ability to where you can use 1 sheet follower at a time, as you can see here, which is the left one, or they can be programmed to use 2 sheet followers at a time. As you'll see here on bit number 3, Billy's got the ability to be able to pull the sheet followers together. And as you can see here now, both sheet followers is going to guide into aid of forming the part. The sheet followers have a potentiometer ball on the top of the sheet follower, so that if the sheet follower is programmed to use 1 arm or 2 arms, if he accidentally has the ball pressed when it shouldn't be, then of course the machine will not cycle. The huge concept of the sheet followers, of course, is to be able to take a 2-man or a 3-man operation down to a 1-man operation, such as you see here, which gives us the ability to have around a 50% increase in productivity. Thank you, Billy. Now let's discuss Amada's HRB ATC press brake. The ATC press brake is a machine that loads and unloads its tools, which you'll see here in just a moment. On the press brake side itself, it has the ability to have all the additional options that you've heard about earlier in the standalone press brakes. At this time, I'm going to start the machine so that you can see the whole concept of the automatic tool changer, which is to load and unload the punches and the dies. During this process, if you will, you'll notice 2 what we refer to as manipulators up at the top, which do nothing but load and unload punches. 2 manipulators at the bottom, which load and unload the dies. The tooling that the tool changer is loading is Amada's AFH tooling, which we discussed a little earlier as well. On this particular hydraulic clamping system, the upper part is our A-grip A's, and the lower part is the AFH die holder. Again, this is all hydraulic driven. On this particular tool changer, it has the ability to hold up to 15 stockers of punches and 18 stockers of dies to give you a total of around 96 feet of tooling if you load the ATC cabinet completely full. As you can notice here, the speed of the machine on this particular setup that we were just loading was around 55 seconds to load this particular setup. A huge advantage to the ATC machine is, of course, quick changeover. Naturally, all shops come in and they have hot jobs. So during like this process here now, we had a job set up, then a hot job comes in. So now, just by simply opening the program that we need for this hot job, within a matter of 45, 55, possibly up to 2 to 3 minutes, worst case scenario, we're going to look at going from this tool change to the next one to achieve this hot job. Once that hot job is complete, of course, then we can just go right back and go to our original part and continue bending the parts that we were originally doing. While it's loading this particular part here now, let me mention we have 2 different models of this particular HRB ATC machine. The first, what you see here, is our 1003 machine. The next is our 2204 machine. The 2204 machine has the ability and capacity to have up to a max of 18 punch stockers and 25 die stockers. Thank you.
That concludes our presentation on the HRB press brake today. At this time, I'd like to turn things over to our CTC Division Manager, Matt Atkinson, who's going to take us through the Bending Academy.
Thank you, Scott. I would like to welcome you to the Amada Bending Academy, located in the new Carolina Technical Center, here in High Point, North Carolina. Amada was looking for new ways to support their customers. When surveyed, customers often would respond the same way. We have a really hard time finding experienced press brake operators. After researching the vocational options for this type of training, not many were found, and the concept for the Bending Academy was born. Amada has an outstanding school program, and they focus on teaching new customers how to operate the specific machines that they just purchased. The difference between the Bending Academy and Amada School is the Academy focuses on producing press brake operators with a true understanding of bending methods. This is a multi-level program that the student must qualify at the end of each course before they're eligible to take the next level. This in turn creates a true standard of bending, or as we like to say, an Amada standard of bending.
Thank you, Matt. I think the Bending Academy is a great opportunity for the entire industry.